How about a free plugin for you to create and use amazing dynamic 3D visuals powered by your music? Whether you're playing live, streaming, or just want to play around with something cool, we've been spending the last few months putting together a toolkit that allows you to power Unreal Engine via Ableton Live. It's completely free, or you can pay what you want. I'm excited to introduce to you Nice Touch Bridge. So what is the plugin? What does it do exactly? Well, in simple terms, it takes MIDI data or audio data and then sends it to Unreal Engine via some blueprints for you to control animation. So you can see the animation's going, it's like moving around. When I hit the kick drum, it's animating it, it's moving it, and then when I hit the snare, it's lighting it up. So we can kind of do that in combination and with lots of other things. So say we do a little beat, kind of see that it's moving in time with the beat. And then we can see when we play like other bits are animating as well. So it's a whole like set of plugins basically that allows you to control this stuff live. All right, I'll show you what's going on this one. So on here I've got the drums are controlling the kind of particle system. So when I hit the drum, you can see that's powering that, and the snare it's like lighting it up. So we're doing both at the same time. So you can sort of do a drum beat with that. There's that. And then we've got this like lead thing. So every time we hit a note on that, it's making one of the little blocks appear. And I've got those like quantized eighth notes, so I can just sort of play around in the scale and make like weird things with weird like pitch bends and stuff, which is always fun. So then we can have it all going together. Some effects. There you go.
So this one you can see is just being controlled by my voice. The amplitude of my voice live is controlling these kind of wavy lines basically, and the more that I increase my volume, the more they will light up and the more they will move around and change color as well. They go almost like pinky purple. I go really loud. So sorry for shouting and sorry for my awful singing.
So that one's kind of cool. Each note is just triggering a block appearing, and they appear more or less randomly, and they have some physics attached to them. There is some control, like the pitch of them, the higher the note, I think the higher up they appear. So that one's like up there, like above the ceiling basically. And then these ones are appearing slightly lower. So if we do go up, you can see them sort of appearing up one by one. Which is kind of cool. Okay, I'm going to show you how to install and use the Nice Touch Bridge plugins. So here we go, we've downloaded Nice Touch Bridge, and then I've already extracted it here. First thing I'm going to do actually, before I show you how to dive into Unreal Engine, is we're going to load up the example project and show you what's going on in there in the live portion. So get a Nice Touch Bridge. You've got an Ableton bit and you've got an Unreal Engine bit. We're going to open the Ableton bit, open up the project. Okay, we've got our project open. It's a little tune here. We've got some drums, a bit of bass and some keys. And before I open up Unreal, like I said, I'm going to quickly show you. I've separately put a download in here of like the demo basically. So if you go into here, go into Windows and then load this up, I've compiled a version of the plugin basically that you can just use without having to install Unreal Engine. So if we hit play now, we should get it all singing, all dancing basically. So we've got our particles moving, we've got these little blocks that fall, and then you've got this like little displacement thing, and they're all being fed by different areas of the project. So if I make this a little bit smaller, you can kind of see what's going on. If I move this over, sorry, if I hit stop on those, oops, no, not stop, not record. So yeah, the drums is hitting this and making these go. The bass is making the displacer at the back move. And then we've got these keys as well. So yeah, you can just use this as is. And if you go in the settings, you can change the IP address and port that it's coming in as, and then you can like turn them off and on as well, just so you can kind of have a bit of control over it. Good. All right, let's show you how to install the plugin. So if we go back to our Nice Touch Bridge bit, we've got our Unreal Engine folder here, and this is what we want to deal with. This is the plugin here. So we're going to Control C on that, and then we're going to go and find your installation folder for Unreal Engine. And mine is in Program Files, Epic Games, Unreal 5.3. You can use it on Unreal 5.3 and on 5.4. It might struggle on 5.2. I've kind of used 5.3 onwards. And you go into there, Engine, Plugins, and then we'll just paste it in here. And where's that ended up? Nice Touch Animation. Great. Cool. Now we'll make a new project. So we'll go to our library. Let's launch and make a new Unreal Engine project. Okay, we're going to go to games and we're going to make a third-person game, and we're going to make this somewhere and call it empty demo. Let's make that project. Cool. The first thing you want to do is enable this plugin in this project. It's installed for the engine, but not necessarily for the project that you just loaded. So we go Edit, Plugins, and then just search for what Nice, and then enable that. You'll get a message saying this is a beta. That's fine. We'll click yes on that, and then we're going to restart. Cool. Now we've got our project, and if we look in here, we can go in Engine and go to Plugins, and then we scroll all the way down to the ends. We'll get Nice Touch Bridge content. Let's just zoom out a bit. Here we go. So if we go into Maps here, this demo one here, this is the one that I showed you basically on the thing. So if I hit play on this, and then hit play on my project, we'll get the same kind of stuff. And you can dig into these. I've got the blueprints in here for you to explore. So we've got the displacer one at the back, we've got the OSC particles, and then we've got the block spawner. And they each work in different ways. They're each pulling either MIDI data or the audio data to control the visuals in some way. So let's show you what's happening on the drums, for example. So let's go drums. So you can see here, we're sending the drums out, and it's sending various messages based on the pitch of the drums or the MIDI note that's triggering the drums. So let's see. So you can see that something's happening when it hits the kick drum, and then a different thing is happening when we hit the snare. So if I go into OSC Particles 1, this is the function that makes this work, or this component. I'll show you how to use that in a minute. But essentially, if I hit play on this, we'll see that we're getting, this is pulsing through, and then as long as it's not 0, we're getting a thing basically, and then it's like switching on whichever string that it gets from the pitch. So whether it's 36 or 38, 36 is the kick drum, 38 is the snare, and it's doing different things based on those. So in this one, it's pulsing them outwards if it gets the kick drum, and then when it gets the snare, it's lighting them all up. So you can get different effects as well, depending on different notes, and you could use a range of notes to change things as well. So if I show you the block spawner, in this one, oh, it crashed? No. That's because we're not actually playing with blocks still. There we go. We're using the pitch here to actually go between the Z values. So the Z values in this instance is like how high they are, I think. I can't exactly remember, but essentially we're using a higher pitch to change the location of where they spawn. Yeah, I think so. They'll be random like left to right, but the lower note should be lower than the higher one. Yeah, you get what I mean? And they're kind of normalized, so yeah. And in fact, I should be able to like play this on the thing if I, yeah, is that gonna work? Bit of fun. So let's show you how to set this up for yourself. Let's go back into Unreal Engine and let's go back to our third person map. And this is just the basic template that they give you, but we'll use this to kind of show you how interactive it can be and what you can do. So we're going to make a new folder in your content folder. We're going to call this Nice Touch Demo. Nice Touch Demo, and then we're going to make a new blueprint here. Make it an actor, empty demo, and then we're going to quickly kind of make something really basic here. We'll add a sphere to the scene, and we're going to make the sphere pulse basically based on, let's do it based on the drums. So we'll go into this and we'll go to our event graph, and we need to add one more thing actually. We need to add the component. So type in nt underscore, and then we've got our nt component. This is the bit that pulls the data and allows you to actually receive data on any actor. So you can right click on here and we can go add event and add note on. So whenever we hit a note, basically we want to get some data. Add note on, and then we're going to pull in our sphere. We're going to set scale, set world scale 3D, and we're going to pull that out. We're going to go on blur. So we're going to say go between these two values. We're going to go between 1 and 2, say. And then we're going to basically make a timeline. Right click, go timeline. Double click on your timeline. Change the length to 0.5. Make a track. Add float track. Make 3 little dots. And we want this one to be at the end. Oops, we want this one to be at 0.5, sorry. This one you want to be at 0, and then this is the one where it's going to go up. So we'll put the value of that as 1, and then we'll probably set this as 0.1. So you can kind of see what's happening. We're going to go pulse, 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 pulse every time we get a thing. Compile that. Let's go back to our event graph. We're going to trigger that, play from start. As it updates, we're going to set the world scale, and then the amount of scale is going to be controlled by this. So between 0 and 1 is going to basically control this and say go between 1 and 2. One more thing we need to do on our Nice Touch component here, we need to set this. It won't, nothing will come through. So I'll show you that now actually. If I hit play here and then hit this, and let's just play the drums. In fact, we haven't even put our scene, so nothing's going to come through. Let's do that. NT demo. Nothing's happening right now here. There's actually 2 things we need to do. We need to go back to our plugins thing. In our blueprints, we need the receiver. You've got to have the receiver. This is the thing that is receiving all the OSE data and sending it out to all of the Nice Touch components. Without that, it won't work. So you need both these things. And then we're going to go back into our thing here, and we're going to set this to drums. Why are we setting it to drums? Because that's what we're sending it out as on our track here. It says drums there, and it's going to read that. So that's why it won't get triggered by piano or it won't get triggered by other stuff. You have to say what you want it to be triggered by. So compile, save, hit play, and now our thing is happening on every single drum beat, which maybe isn't what you want. So this is where we can add a little bit more code to filter it out a little bit. So let's bring this back up. That's why we've got a pitch here. And the pitch isn't necessarily the actual pitch of the note, but it's the MIDI data that the note is being sent at. So we can pull that out and go equals or equal, and say I want it to hit with the snare, say. I think that is 34. Let's try it out. Hit a branch, so we'll only trigger when it hears that. No, it's not 34, I think it might be 38 actually. 38, there we go. There we go, and now we've got a thing that pulses on the snare. So I can show you here, I changed it to 38. So you can see it's only triggering when we get the snare, and then it's updating over the course of that timeline. Right, and now I'm going to quickly show you the same thing, but using a envelope follower instead. And for this, I'll kind of go over to to Ableton and show you how to install the plugins yourself. So we're back in the folder that we downloaded our stuff to, and we've got the Ableton folder. We essentially want these two bits. We loaded the example project before, but we want these two bits. So if you go to your user library on Ableton, and if you drag these in, they'll already be there obviously in the example project, but you want them here. This is the Nice Touched Medito SE one, it's the same as those, and then this is the envelope follower one. So I'm going to drag this onto the drums. We're already using it on the bass, but I'll show you how it works here. And actually it's going to send us that as well, so we want to change that to drums, and let's see what we get. So yeah, we're getting like the audio data of it instead, which might be better for our use case here actually. Let's see what happens. So for this, we're going to right click on our NT component, add event, add envelope data. And then for this, we can actually just plug this straight into here and see what happens if we change this float here. Okay, yeah, it's massive. It's reading between 0 and more than 1 apparently. We can control that. So if we go into Ableton, change this, could hit the parameters here, change the max maybe to like be much smaller. There we go. That's kind of cool. It's reading it directly, and you do have quite a lot of control over this as well. Like with the envelope follower, we can change like how quickly it rises, so you can like smooth it out that way, which is kind of cool. So yeah, there's a lot you can do. Like I'm showing you here, this could be like an interactive game that you're powering via some music separately, or you could have this like for streamers, your stream where people are controlling the game, or just like I showed you in the example project, just a kind of visualizer that's a bit more tied to the music. There's really lots you can do with it. So that is how you install and use the Nice Touch Bridge plugin. It's free, you can download it, you can use it, test it out, let me know how it works. Got a bit of an idea of where I want it to go. I want to make like a VST plugin version, so it's not limited to Max MSP and Ableton Live.
All right, so there we have it, Nice Touch Bridge. I'm Andy, the other half of Nice Touch. You might have seen me on some behind the scenes videos before, and I just wanted to say how excited I am also to share the Nice Touch Bridge plugin with you, and how keen we are to hear your feedback. So get in touch with us, comments below, or check out the Discord, which will be linked in the video description. Let us know what you think, and we'll keep making some sweet videos for you.